Okay, so this is the HORI NOLVA, NOLVA. I guess you would say Nolva. It's a pretty weird name to pronounce, but this is the Chun-Li Street Fighter 6 version. I'm pretty sure all versions of this leverless is not available in North America. I think you can only get it in Asia and Europe, but this version is like a limited edition Street Fighter version. I picked it up while I was in Taiwan recently, and I just think it's a very good leverless controller, especially for the price, considering it's basically a budget-ish version of like the Victrix or something like that. I've used the Victrix before, and I just don't know if it's not really worth $250, but it feels more premium than this. But this does feel very sturdy and very quote unquote premium. Like I have no problems with it. But I did swap out the keycaps for Punk Workshop keycaps because the ones that come with it just they don't feel good, right? And that's not to say that they don't feel good enough to play with, but they just are very like plasticky feeling and just like your finger, like if you have any sweat on your fingers, they sort of just have no traction to it. And I think the Punk Workshop buttons for me have always been like super reliable, and obviously I got the blue and the green to like sort of match the Chun Li vibe here. But Punk Workshop buttons have always been the go-to for me. This controller does have all like the features and stuff that you would want out of a premium-ish level controller, right? You have the ability to remap buttons pretty easily with the function, the gear icon. You like hold it down, then you press the button you want to bind it to, that you want to rebind, and then you press the extra button. So you get the 3 extra buttons, and it comes with like these false buttons that you can block out the hole if you don't want to use that button. So I do have these 2 extra buttons that I use, and I block out this extra one that's for the pinky. Use your touchpad too. Use your start button right here. I don't know why it's a massive button, but so I guess one good part about this is you do have the option to tournament lock, so these buttons don't work. But the fact that this is such a huge button that start, it is pretty like noticeable. So it's like hard to like fat finger it when you're like playing, I guess, because I've never actually fat fingered it. Um, you do have a locking mechanism for the cable. You can open it so it won't come out. Usually, it is pretty tight here. This cable is not the one that came with it, so it doesn't like close all the way, but it's in there and it doesn't come out. Um, that's about it. Like features wise, I think it's pretty well packed. Uh, it is hot swappable. I saw people saying it wasn't, that they were proprietary. Only the button caps are proprietary, but since they are normal Cherry MX like switches, any keycaps that fit Cherry profile switches will fit. And you can swap out the extra buttons really easily with the tool that comes on the back of this. However, you will need like a keycap puller to pull out the other keycaps, or the switches rather, that aren't the extra buttons. Because with the extra buttons, you can sort of just like, let me see if I can get this off without, well, the whole thing came out anyway, but as you can see, I already pulled it out prior to this, so make it easier for myself. But it is just like I don't know if it's Cherry, but it's obviously a Cherry clone of some kind here. It's like a silver switch type, which I think is pretty good for fighting games. But just so you can see, I do have different switches here. So I'm gonna put this switch, the Chalk V2, in here just to see, show you that it does indeed work with a different switch. Although I don't think this is not RGB. So if you want RGB, you're not gonna get it here. Let me see if I can get into a game or training mode. Street Fighter real quick. So it is, judging by this, it is like regular sized height keycaps here. So you don't have to worry if you do want to end up switching out the keycaps at some point, or not keycaps, buttons, the buttons. Of course, there's an update. I keep saying keycaps when I mean buttons, but the buttons, you can switch to the keycaps really easily, but the buttons are also like hot swappable because they are regular like Cherry MX profile. So I guess here, just so you can see for yourself here, they have my, it comes with the standard silver, and then I swap to a Chalk V2 here. I have the one on the left is minded to throw, I think, and then the one on the right is DI in Street Fighter. So just to show you that it is indeed hot swappable. Although the one problem is like, because here the regular keycaps have like these prongs that like click in, so there is like a weird gap that goes around your whole thing, but it isn't unnoticeable when you're playing, right? So this is the default silver switch, and then this is your the one that I swapped out, that the Chalk V2. I think I might actually like Chalk V2s better, but you know, I don't like it's very clacky, so I don't really think that it's the highest of quality, but it is good for the price. It's about $150, and the Victrix is like $100 more, right? So you know, I think it's a pretty good overall bang for your buck. If you want something that's like a little bit more premium feeling, that doesn't necessarily break the bank, right? You got your little pads on the side, non-slip pads on the side, and stuff like that. I think it's a good deal, worth it. Thanks for watching.